here's TV's very own Mr. Magic, Jonathan Ross. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and welcome to what I promise will be, but for both the audience here and everyone watching at home, a truly magical night. You know, I've always loved magic. When I was a little kid, I used to be enchanted by my granddad. He would ask me for a coin, like 10p or something, and he would just make it vanish into thin air. He was a wonderful magician. Also, unfortunately, a thief, because never got it back. We have assembled the cream of the conjuring community of this country. And I'm amazed I got through that sentence without getting it. We're going to show you more magic than a Hogwarts assembly. And think of me, if you will, as an immaculately suited, ravishingly handsome Dumbledore. Or don't. OK, all are masters of their art, and they're here to try and fool the men who have been headlining Las Vegas for the last 10 years. Penn and Teller. In fact, the only thing bigger than them in Vegas is the city's electricity bill. Now, I'm a huge fan of them. I hope you guys will. Before they come up on stage, look at this.
Hey, welcome to Vegas. My name is Penn. This is my partner Teller. We're Penn and Teller, and we have been working together doing magic for our entire adult lives. We are over in Britain hoping that somebody or many people will be able to fool us. We'll be able to do tricks that we don't know how they're done. We have to figure out how they did the trick, seeing it once. And seeing it once from just the angle we have in the audience. We're not watching monitors. We don't have sneaky camera shots. We don't have any information in advance. It's just us sitting there. You come on and you fool us. And if you can't, go home. If you can, come to Vegas. If someone fools us, they will get all their expenses paid, everything, fly over to Las Vegas with us. We'll put them up, and we'll give them our stage to be able to do their tricks. Everybody who comes on the show tonight is going to be very, very brave. It's really tough to do a trick for someone who might actually tell you what they think afterwards. This show is just about getting back that first feeling that we got when we were 5 years old and first saw someone vanish something in their hand like that. That's a beautiful, wonderful feeling, and we want it again. So, fool us.
They've been performing together for 35 years. It's incredible. It's longer than most marriages, but like all successful marriages, the reason it works, I think, is that one doesn't allow the other one to speak. Here they are. It's the two, the only, Penn and Teller. Mr. Teller, Mr. Penn, great to see you both here. Everyone here is excited. I know I'm excited. I know you're excited as well, because genuinely you would like to actually be fooled, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's not a competition. You know, we just want to... The reason you get into magic is there's no better feeling than being fooled. And the longer you work in magic, the harder it is to be fooled.
So you're going to watch it just the once here.
Just once, yeah.
No camera trickery, no editing, nothing like that. What you see at home is exactly what Penn and Teller see, what everyone here in the audience sees, and you're going to try and work out if you know how they...
Yeah, and we'll do our best to try to figure it out.
You're not going to tell us exactly how it's done, though. I guess you'll use the language of the trade. You'll give us enough information to make sure we know, they know, you know, that they know, and we will then know you know what they have done without us knowing.
We'll do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah. Before we get on with the show, some people may not have had the experience of seeing Penn and Teller perform live before. So now to show you, they're very much at the very top of the tree. Penn and Teller, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we actually get going, can we ask you one small favor? Please take out your cell phones, your mobile phones, and turn them on. And turn the ringers up full. We want you all loud and connected. Hold it up just like this. Because we're going to pick one person from the audience to bring their cell phone on stage and video this first trick from an angle that will show that person how it's done. So if you have a mobile phone and you know how to use it, just hold it up just like this. We're going to find someone that has that. And we want to give you a promise. We all have personal information on our cell phones. We want to promise you we won't monkey with any of that. All we will do is let you video this trick from an angle that'll show you how it's done. And I think Teller's found someone who knows how to use her cell phone. She's coming around up here. Wonderful. What's your name, please, ma'am? Stephanie. Right over here, please, Stephanie. Going to move you over on this side of me, if I may. And Stephanie, this is your cell phone right here. And do you have someone with you, Stephanie, that knows your cell phone number?
Yes.
And who's that, Stephanie?
That's my friend Emily over there.
Your friend Emily. Now, Emily, if you'd call Stephanie, please. I'm going to hold the phone up so we'll all hear the ringtone. And I'll answer this for you. This is Emily, is this right? Hello, Emily. What are you wearing? Emily, this is the number. Oh, bye. You're going to have your call twice more during this bit. So be ready for that, okay, Emily? Would you turn this into video mode and start the video rolling? Is it rolling now? Is it rolling now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give you a little thing to remember. Good evening, my name is Penn. Let's be party teller. We are Penn and Teller, and Fool Us is proud to present Stephanie. Yeah, give it up for her now. Oh, this is a beautiful video. You're going to love this. Oh, look at them. Look at that going crazy for you, Stephanie. Stephanie, strike a pose. Strike a pose. There you go. Oh, Stephanie, this is beautiful. And Stephanie, we would never have you on stage without giving you video of you with a very famous person. You can pose here with Elton John. Actually, it's over here in England, so it's not just Elton John. It is Sir Elton John. Come over here, Stephanie, right over here, and just stand right there. Beautiful. There he is. There's the Sir. There's the Elton John. There's Stephanie, and there's our wonderful audience right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Stephanie, stand right on that double blue dot, please. There's a cup underneath your chair there. Could you give that to me, please? Yeah, we put this under before. This is well, you open it up yourself, Stephanie. That's an empty coffee cup. It's clean and dry there. I want you to know that because we're going to put your phone inside it. And when you're watching this back, Stephanie, at this point you'll still hear all the audio, but it's going to go all white, of course, because it's on the inside of the cup. Then it's going to go dark. So I'm putting this on. There's a one little sip hole. I'll put this right on here, Stephanie, and make sure your phone is safely inside. Oh, sorry, Stephanie. And I'm a juggler, too. That's the weird part. That's the right here, Stephanie. Back up. We're going to put this right down here, Stephanie. And then just focus right on that, Stephanie. Focus on your phone that you saw in there. Focus on it. Think about it, and Mazel tov! You know, Stephanie, when I can't find my cell phone, what I usually do is I have my wife call it. And then everybody listens in for the ringtone. And if we all listen and all point to where the sound's coming from, we can usually then find the cell phone. And we'd be so surprised, Stephanie, the places we found my cell phone. Very, very unusual. Now, Emily, if you would please, call Stephanie's phone again, and let's all listen. And if you hear where it's coming from, please point to it. If you hear it, point to it. Sounds like it's coming from right down there, that very well lit. Is that an empty seat right next to you there? And what is on that seat?
A box that says do not touch.
A box that says do not touch. Has that box been there since you came into the theater?
Yeah, it has.
Okay, take the box, pick it up, would you please? The box is sealed shut, is that right?
Yeah.
Would you hand that box forward? Yeah, keep handing your front to this corner. And this woman right here in the corner, when the box comes to you, would you stand up and walk across the gap to Stephanie here? Now, Stephanie, come over here in the center of the stage here. Now, look at that box carefully. It's sealed shut, is that right? Would you open that box, please? Pull the tape off. And then lift the top off the box. Yeah, it shouldn't be. I just press on this side. And just pull and lift the top off and tell us what's inside the box, Stephanie.
Ah, it's a fish.
A fish. Inside the box is a fish. And Stephanie, what kind of fish is that?
Smelly.
It's smelly, yes. It's also tilapia, which is originally an African fish, but now aquafarmed all over. And I want you to use your nose, Stephanie, and make sure, you've already said this, make sure that is indeed a real fish. Tell them we'll hold it up for you. Give that a whiff. Is that a real fish?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's in there. So we hold this microphone right here, would you please? Hold it right to the fish's gills. Now, you're going to hear a few things here. You're going to hear the fish's head being cut off. Emily, call the phone again. Hear the fish's head being cut off. Call it, Emily. You're going to hear the guts spilling out. Then from deep inside the bowels of the fish, you will hear, right from in there, from inside the fish, Stephanie. Is that your phone right there? Is that your phone right there? And is that your pictures on it? Is that everything there, Stephanie? Is that indeed your phone? Are you sure, Stephanie? Now, Stephanie, as promised, Stephanie, you have a video on there that'll show you how the trick is done. Can you give us one promise? Don't watch that video till our show's over tonight. We do that? And you can clean your hands off in case there's a little bit of fish guts on there. Thank you so much, Stephanie. That's Stephanie right there. That's Emily.
Ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant Penn and Teller. Join us after the break when we throw the first of our magicians into the lion's den with Penn and Teller to see if they can be fooled. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Fool Us. Now, before the break, Penn and Teller fooled everyone by producing Stephanie's phone from inside a fish. The trick got a great reception here, although the same now can't be said for Stephanie's phone. Thank you, Stephanie. That took guts, unfortunately, lots of fish guts. But can the great illusionists themselves be fooled? That's what we're here to find out this evening. It's also worth mentioning at this point that unlike any other TV magic show, there will be absolutely no camera tricks tonight. Everyone in the audience here and everyone at home will see exactly what happens with no trick edits, OK? And we do have our own magical guru in the gallery, a leading member of the American Magicians Union, to rule out in case of dispute. His word will be the final one, OK? So, just like on Eamon Holmes' dinner plate, the stakes are massive. Oh, I'm back. The pressure is intense, and the big question is, can anyone fool Penn and Teller? Well, let's find out about our first contender. Ali Cook.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm a proper wizard. You probably see some fakes, but real deal. I describe my style as being shocking, but then also very silly at the same time. My mum's been a great support over the years, and she allows me to keep all of my huge magic props here, and she loves it.
No, I don't always like having Alice and stuff in my garage. It's everywhere.
Got two beautiful assistants in the show. This is Beyonce, this is Shakira.
I don't not come home and find one hen and one duck in my bath. I'm just relieved that it's not a camel and an elephant.
Instead of a clever sleight of hand trick, I wanted to do a big stage item. I think I'm the only person who does this trick, and I'm amazed. It's a great trick, it's shocking, it's disgusting, and it's funny all at the same time, and I really hope they like it. It's very smug to go, oh yes, I can fool the two world's biggest magicians. I don't know. I'm going to give him my best shot, but you never know.
I'll be honest, when I was told about this, I heard that Ali Cook was doing something with a chicken and a duck. I was thinking we might get a casserole out of it, but no. It's going to be far more impressive than that. Will you please welcome, with a little help from a couple of birds, Ali Cook.
Let's do it! This ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give it up. Live and let die.
That was fabulous. Thank you. Not what any of us expected. I don't quite know what we expected, but we didn't expect that. Penn and Teller sitting there. I think A, they're going to have a conference. B, they're a bit concerned you might switch their heads over, which I have never seen anything quite like that before.
I just wanted to do something that no one's seen, you know. It's just totally bizarre.
Well, we may well hear another bizarre theory right now, or maybe they've got it. We're going to go to Penn and Teller and find out. First of all, what did you think of the act, guys? What do you think of Ali Cook's performance?
It's an act. It is really an act we have always wanted to see. You read about that. We were saying it, that it's ancient Egyptian.
Yeah.
It's Dedi or Didi? D-E-D-I?
Didi, yeah.
Didi, is that the way it's pronounced? Yeah. Teller was talking about the ancient Egyptian text it's in. It's talked about all the time, but nobody, I don't think, in our lifetime has done it. It's just absolutely wonderful, and I'll give you the highest praise I can, which is the act was so good, I almost forgot how bad Paul McCartney's grammar is in there. Ever-changing world in which we live in. I went, oh, that's bothering me, but oh, the duck has a chicken's head. It's okay. Now, I will also say, and I don't want to give too much away, the puppetry you did is astonishing. The duck and the chicken have characters and continue those characters throughout. I also think that your handling and your assistant's handling of the animals is just stunning. And I would say you did not fool us, but you blew us away. It's fabulous. And really funny. Really funny.
Are you satisfied that they know what they're talking about? You didn't fool them?
I think they know what they're talking about, yeah.
Cash, would you do the same trick for me with Louis Walsh and Danny Minogue? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ali Cook. Nice work, Ali. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go straight on with our search to find someone to fool Penn and Teller. Let's find out who's next to come out here and try to win that spot in Vegas. Richard Bellers.
I'm Richard Bellers, and I've been a professional magician for about 6-7 years. The last 12 months have been incredible. I was doing magic, but I was never very good at business. I was, good at the tricks and things. And I just sort of had enough, really, of it not going as where I wanted it to. So I sold my entire life on Facebook. And I went and didn't have a house, didn't have an address, didn't have anything at all. And I just followed my gigs around and did a bit of sofa surfing. And then I met Holly, which was great. And obviously now, 6 months later on, I'm settled down with Holly in a lovely flat in Tunbridge Wells with a kid on the way. So it's worked out all right.
When I first met him, I didn't ask to see a trick for a few days because I didn't want to be one of those annoying people who just constantly, oh, show me a trick, show me a trick. But as I've seen more of his magic, it's just, it still baffles me how he does it. I love it.
When the baby's born, I'm intending to do a cut and restored with the umbilical cord. I'm really going to nail that. This is a mega opportunity, and it would be crazy not to give it you everything. Vegas in Penn and Teller's show opening. I mean, it's something that everyone's got to aspire to.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome from Tunbridge Wells, Mr. Richard Bellows.
And just that's it. What I wanted to talk about was a rivalry that's really gone on for years between gamblers and magicians. They each have a go at each other all the time, claiming that their methods are more impressive or they can cheat better. So I'm laying down this challenge. My skills in the art of brainwash-ery, is a real word, against your poker face.
Okay, my poker face.
Your poker face.
Okay.
I want to do this too, Jonathan Ross. Yes? Yeah. Well, we'll ask though. Can we do you sitting down because you are massive? Yeah, that's right. No, that's good.
Facing out?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The weapon of choice for gambler and magician is always the same. It's the humble deck of cards.
Yes.
Would you do the honour and just check that they are what they appear to be?
Take them out and do all that stuff?
Yes.
Perfectly normal to me.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. To make it less comfortable for you, you're going to have to close your eyes now, which is great. But before you do,
Yes.
I'll give you the cards back once your eyes are shut. So I need to show you what you need to do with the cards.
Okay.
You hold the cards in close,
Close to my body.
so nobody can see, and I want you just to pull open somewhere and hold that position. Close your eyes, drop your head forward, and in your head I want you to count from 1 to 10. Just do it nice and slowly, and take your time.
1 up to 10 or...?
Yeah, just in your head. So 1, 2, 3, if that helps you with the counting to 10. When you get to 10, take a nice hearty breath in and then go back to 1, and just repeat that process. 1, 10, back to 1. Good, keep doing that. You guys are going to be Jonathan's eyes, because obviously he can't see what's going on, so you're going to make sure there's no way in the world I could possibly cheat and see which card it is he's looking at. So would you agree there's no way in the world that I'll be able to see which it is that Jonathan's about to look at? Okay, Jonathan, what I would do is put elastic bands around the card, because it's often hard to handle cards with your eyes open, let alone closed. They're coming your way. Good. Put them in close to your chest. I'm going to stand in front of you. There are no cameras behind you, and all my stooges are in the audience, so there's no way that I can see which card it is. I'm going to count back from 10. When I get to 5, just pull the deck open, but keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
When I get to 1, open your eyes and see a card from that deck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Put it open. Hold it there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at that card. Remember the card. Close your eyes, close the deck. You got one in your mind? So you got one of those in your mind?
Yes, yes.
Okay, have you been drinking?
No. Whatever.
Whatever. Okay. The way it's going to work, I'm going to now test your poker face.
Yes.
Okay, so when you open your eyes, it's poker face the whole way.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at me. I'm going to ask you the questions, think the answers. If you say them out loud, that's called listening. It's not as impressive. Okay? Okay. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. You've lost interest. Imagine if it's black, you're holding it in your right hand. If it's red, it's in your left hand. Just imagine doing. You don't move a lot, do you? You play poker very, very, very well. I'm going to just take it. This is my read of Jonathan's poker face. In a nice loud voice, which card did you see? Which card are you thinking of?
10 of hearts.
10 of hearts. No way, dude. What the? What?
I'm disappointed in myself.
No, these guys are more impressing you at the moment because they saw what happened when your eyes were shut. When you shut your eyes, I cheated a little bit. Just a smidge. You didn't have any choice of which card you looked at because all the cards were the same. What? No, all 10 of hearts. No, this was a deck you looked at. Have a look. They were all blank. There were no cards in the deck. They were all blank.
Do you want me to look again?
Yes, please. Yeah, no, the reason you saw the 10 of hearts. Look at the box I gave you, the cards in particular. Oh. Hold that up. Can you see what's printed on there? From the beginning, he was looking at the 10 of hearts. And then I said, do you remember 2 things I said? Breathe. I'll just count from 1 to 10. And when you get to 10, take a hearty breath.
So 10 was in my head.
10 of
was
hearts.
in my head.
I even said it's often hard to handle cards with your eyes open and no shut. It's of 10 hearts to handle cards. You had no choice what you saw. I'll call that brainwashery 1, poker face 0. Thank you very much.
Because I'm sure I saw the 10 of hearts. I was convinced I saw it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Fellas, you saw that, and you had the benefit of seeing it without your eyes shut, of course. You confer now. You have a talk about whether or not you know how that was done. I was in the middle of it. I don't know how it was done. That was remarkable. You think it's something that they will have seen elsewhere, either in this form or in a different form?
I'm hoping that it's slightly out there enough that it's a bit of a curveball, you know, because people do things where you take a card and I guess what it is, but by using the blank deck, it's just a different layer.
How important is some of that in terms of us enjoying it as an audience, but also trying to confuse these guys? Is that part of
the more layers you put on, the more confusion there is, and it's harder to dig out the method.
So that's kind of almost like diverting our attention to there so that we don't...
Misdirection of the mind, yeah, rather than the eyes.
Gentlemen, I'm going to come over to you now and ask what you thought of that and whether or not he's fooled you.
Well, first of all, the whole study of psychology and implanting thoughts in people's heads and using 10 and hard and putting them together and letting them suggest to them mind washing, such stuff. All of that is bullshit. 100% jive bullshit. What he had was a gimmick deck handled very nicely.
Thank you very much.
Until you actually saw a blank deck at the end. The deck he showed us that was all blank actually had another way of holding it that showed nothing but 10 of hearts.
So I did see a 10 of hearts then.
Yes, you did.
Is that what I'm saying? Without you.
Well, yeah.
It's a wonderful routine, beginning, middle, and end. It's just great all the way through. But the biggest lie he told was that you have a good poker face. We all read 10 of hearts on your face. No, it wasn't. Your eyebrows were going.
When he said 10, I didn't feel myself going, don't know, no, 10, that is not all okay. Richard, that was great. I believe you performed. I know what we've seen more of you. Richard Ballard, that was great. Richard Ballard. We've still got some tricks up our sleeves, ladies and gentlemen, so stick around and prepare to be amazed. Welcome back to the show. Penn and Teller here, actually hoping to be made fools of, so to speak. So let's see if our next magician will grant their wish.
Michael Vincent. My name's Michael Vincent. I've been passionate about magic since the age of 6. I would describe my style of magic as classical in its approach, elegant in its interpretation. The brilliant work of my mentors, their work inspired me, and I hope my work in the same way will inspire someone that's not even born yet, and that really tickles me. This particular award signifies when I was the Magic Circle's Close-Up Magician of the Year. I think I have what it takes to fool Penn and Teller. Will I fool them? That remains to be seen. Can I fool them? Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Michael Vincent.
Thank you. Watch very closely. Queen of Diamonds, everyone. And the Jack of Clubs. Just extend your arms forward for me. I wonder if that's a trick sleeve. Let me just try this. If I just rub here and here. Now, it's the red aces, ladies and gentlemen. However, let's take this a stage further. There's the 5 of diamonds, the Jack of spades, and if I may use my sleeves, I think you'll agree this is the perfect poker hand. Watch closely. The ace of clubs goes on the face of the pack. Ace of spades on the palm of my hand. Is that fair enough? Mm-hmm. The 2 red aces out of the way just for the time being. Now, in order to create a moment of pure astonishment, I'm going to have to take the magic out of my own hands. Would you be so kind? Can I borrow your right hand for a second? Palm upwards. Can you hold the deck for me? Since you're holding them, there's no way I can cheat. Now, you don't have to say a word. All you need to do is watch very closely. Because look, we now have on top of the deck the red ace. On the bottom of the deck, the ace of hearts. The red ace is top and bottom, ladies and gentlemen. And in the middle, the 2 black aces. Thank you. Now, between you and me, that was the real thing. Now, would you like to see some pure sleight of hand? Well, I've been practicing. Here's the 2 red aces, top and bottom. Black one's in the middle. So far, so good? Now, you know what they say about sleight of hand, don't you? Watch the right hand, watch that red ace. The quickness of the hand deceives the eye. I don't feel bad, I missed it as well. There's the 2 black aces, once again, top and bottom, and right back where they started, the 2 red aces. How many aces have you seen so far? 4. 4? Actually, there weren't any at all. See, look, there's no ace on top. Very slowly, on the bottom. Nothing trapped between my fingers, nothing up the sleeves. I'm going to show you each and every card in the pack. You can be the eyes of the audience. The aces do not exist, except in your imagination. Each and every card. right to the very end. I'm going to bring them back. I'm going to do this 4 times in a row. Are you ready? You know, it's funny, even in this day and age, they still think magicians use their sleeves. So all you do is cast the spell, and there's the Ace of Hearts. Did you know you can even do this with one finger? Watch the heart as it becomes a diamond. You know, it's almost like mass hypnosis. It's not what you see, but rather what you think you see, and that is the wonder and mystery. My friends, it's been an absolute privilege being with you tonight to share these few moments of magic with you. Before we part company, I'd like to thank you all for your kind applause and appreciation. My mother once said to me, if I receive a gift with one hand, it's always nice to return the compliment and give something back with the other. So I'd like to dedicate this final piece to all of you, my new friends. I've been passionate about magic for 40 years. The history of magic, the pursuit for technical mastery, and also all of my mentors inspired me to leave the craft of magic better than I found it. It's allowed me to communicate, and in spite of the challenges and chaos of life, it's given me the courage to look inside the chaos to find balance, peace, and perfect order. Which is why tonight I feel we shared something very special. Much more than these beautiful illusions, we've celebrated the joy of living through the wonder of magic and these 52 painted pasteboards who each know their place. We've celebrated an appreciation for an ancient craft, elegant deceptions, and a love for the mysterious. But to celebrate life, my friends, is the only magic. So sincerely from myself, Michael Vincent, my 2 new friends, we wish each and every one of you a life of peace, joy, and happiness. We wish good health, prosperity, and may the spirit of magic be with you always. Thank you.
Mr. Michael Vincent, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to let Penn and Teller have a little chat, work out whether or not they have any idea how it was done. I think I speak for everyone here by saying, A, that was amazing.
Thank you.
B, no one here has any idea how that could be done, could you? I mean, I'm on the verge of saying we should burn you at the stake, because...
One of the things I love doing is turning experienced magicians into normal people.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I got them to look in the wrong place at the right time.
Yeah, well, they seem a little stumped to me. I think we may well have our first person go to Vegas. That'd be great. Okay, let's go over. I think we've given them long enough, don't you? Let's move over now. Michael, gentlemen. First of all, remarkable up-close magic, I would have thought, regardless of whether you've...
Wonderful. And also classic. I mean, when you first get into magic, this is what you're trying to learn. I will just tell the people at home, because I think it makes it more amazing, there was no trick deck whatsoever used. This is what a person can do with just their hands and a deck of cards. This is not hours, not days. This is decades of practice to do
Old
this.
school magic.
I drove him crazy. You made wonderful, polite eye contact with me, and I looked down at your hands. The only people that would do that
He's a
would be
magician.
us and psycho killers.
He's absolutely right.
You had one of us burning one of your hands and one of us burning your other
So
hand.
you were watching the left hand, you were watching the right hand.
We were separated.
And the audience were keeping an eye on what was going on in the middle, right?
Absolutely. That having been said, because it's classic magic, I think you know that we know the moves.
I'm not surprised.
And the very ending, the shuffling right side up and upside down is wonderful. And I'm going to say something rather cryptic to you.
Okay.
And I'm hoping the audience won't understand because you did so beautifully. I really don't want to.
We've only understood about 10%. Okay. I think you're home clear on this one.
But we believe, at the end, to do that wonderful ending, we believe that you rang in the cooler. And we think you did it when you brought the deck across. Is that correct?
Is that legal to ring in a cooler? Did you ring in a cooler?
I have to bow to superior knowledge and intellect.
Oh, you did a wonderful job. It's
Wow.
nice to see those moves done quickly. Thank you very much.
Michael Vincent, ladies and gentlemen, what a fabulous performance.
It's a little better than that, as a matter of fact.
It's time for us to take another break, but make sure you come back because we have 20 more contenders. That's quite something, isn't it? Well, welcome back to Fool Us. Tonight, Penn and Teller have challenged Britain to perform tricks that can fool them. Anyone who can successfully bamboozle them will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Las Vegas to open their world-famous magic show. So far, no one has managed to fool Penn or indeed Teller. It's time for us to hear about our next contender. Let's all meet him now.
John Archer. An name's John Archer. I'm the same age as Jonathan Ross, which is 50. Sorry, Jonathan. I'm a comedy magician. Got my happy shirt on, got a microphone, a load of empty seats. It's like all the gigs I do.
Nothing better, eh?
And I suppose it is a bit of a strange thing. I was a policeman for 10 years up in the northeast of England, Stockton-on-Tees, Cleveland Constabulary. So I've probably been doing magic either as a hobby or professionally for about 25 years. There can't be many jobs where the whole point of your job is just to make people feel good. There are a few jobs, but maybe we shouldn't mention them. The main thing I want my audience to think is he's a nice guy, we had a good time, we love him.
Let's all welcome our next contender. I think you're going to love him, Mr. John Archer.
It's good to see you all. It's good to be here. My name is, as you know, is John Archer. I'm a comedy magician. I tell you that all nice and early because you're all looking at me at the moment thinking he looks more like a builder. I must admit, I'm laying a few bricks at the moment. People often ask me, can magicians use their skills to their own advantage? And of course, the answer is yes. I'm going to try and demonstrate that with a simple little trick. It's a simple little trick, ladies and gentlemen, using 5 envelopes. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the envelopes before we start. 4 of the envelopes are worthless. They contain nothing apart from a John Archer commemorative $0 bill printed on my own computer when it was low on ink. They are not very nice. However, one of the envelopes contains £100. Exactly. Now, a lot of people are doing more impressive tricks than this. This is a 1 in 5. People are doing amazing tricks here tonight. This is just a 1 in 5, but I'm the only act who is wagering his life savings. We're going to start with this gentleman here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the envelopes, sir. What's your name?
Tarek.
Tarek. Wonderful, Tarek. I'm going to tell you about the envelopes. Now, they've all got something written on them. That helps me play the little game. It sort of helps me mess with your head. You see, the first envelope has got something written on it. Now, this is the only envelope that's got something written on it, even though all of the other envelopes do have something written on them. But it's not something, it's something else, even though it's not something else. Okay, don't try and work it out. The question you've got to ask yourself, Tarek, is would I put the money in the envelope that says it's got something in it, when we know for a fact that all envelopes have something in them, even the ones that don't have the something you want? You're thinking too much. If you don't go for envelope number 1, Tarek, you might go for envelope number 2. Envelope number 2 says nothing, even though it says something, but as I promised, it's not something else. The question you've got to ask yourself is would I put the money in the envelope that says it's got nothing in it? That seems a little bit too obvious, but maybe it's a double bluff.
No.
These aren't really questions I'm looking for answers for, but thanks anyway. When I read the script, I can't remember seeing your name so often. But thanks anyway. If you don't go for envelope number 2, which has nothing on it, you might go for envelope number 3, which says yours. Now, everybody likes what is rightfully theirs, but this isn't theirs, it's yours. The question is, would I put the money in the envelope that says it's yours? But of course, you read it, you think it's mine, but it's not mine, it's yours, it says on the front. Now, if you don't go for envelope number 3 that says yours, you might go for envelope number 4, which says mine, and you will notice that mine is much bigger than yours. Get over it, it's genetics. The question is, would I put the money in the envelope that says it's mine? When obviously that would be the obvious place to put it, because you might read it and think it's yours, but it's not yours, because the other one was yours, so this must be mine. Maybe that's where the money is. Tarek, if you don't go for envelope number 4, you might go for the last envelope, envelope number 5. Envelope number 5 says sex. The question is, would I put the money in the envelope that says sex? Who knows? Maybe I'm gambling that you're not the type of man who would ask for sex in an open public forum. Tarek, do me a favour, stand up. Wonderful, Tarek, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to count to 3, I'm going to ask you just to name one of the envelopes. Whichever envelope you name, that is the envelope you get. 1, 2, 3.
Sex.
You want sex? Such a shame, so many girls yet to choose an envelope. Tarek, take sex. Well, Tarek, open up the envelope. Inside you will find a John Archer commemorative $0 bill, is that correct? Hold it up, let me have a look. Give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tarek, you can have a seat. Hi, this gentleman here, what's your name, sir?
Hanny.
Hanny. Yes. Wonderful, Hanny. Same thing for you. I don't have to explain the envelopes. We've got something, we've got nothing, we've got yours and mine. I'll count to 3. You choose one of the envelopes. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing.
You want nothing? You sure?
Sure.
In which case, you will get nothing. Take nothing.
Thank you.
Open it up. Hanny, inside you will find a John Archer commemorative $0 bill. Is that correct?
Yep.
Hold it up. Let me have a look. Yes. You can have a seat. Thank you very much. This lady here. Hi. What's your name?
Zara.
Zara. Wonderful, Zara. Unfortunately, sex is gone. Not necessarily for you, but for me. But there are 3 envelopes left. We've got something, yours or mine. I'll count to 3. You're too keen. Shame sex is gone. 1, 2, 3.
Yours.
You want yours? Okay, take yours. Wonderful. Open it up. Have a look inside. Inside you will find a John Archer commemorative $0 bill. Is that correct?
Yeah.
There it is. Give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You can have a seat. Leaves me with 2 envelopes. Let me see. This gentleman here, you look keen. Stand up, sir. You've got a choice now between something and mine. Again, I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to ask you to name one. But would you be surprised if I already knew the choice you were going to make? Have you made your mind up?
Yes.
Would I be correct to say that you are going to choose something?
Yes.
You see how easy this is? Even though I give you the choice, I can still tell you which one you're going to choose, but I'm going to give you the chance to do something that nobody else could do. I'm going to give you the chance, if you want to change your mind. Do you want to do that?
No.
You don't? It's a shame. It would have helped. Take the envelope. Open it up.
Inside you'll find a John Arch commemorative $0 bill, is that correct? Nothing else in the envelope. Hold it on, show everybody. Give a big round of applause. Here it is. Which leaves me, ladies and gentlemen, with mine. You see, you could all have had what's mine, but oh no, you wanted something. Or sex. But if you'd just been brave enough to ask for what was mine, you would have got it, ladies and gentlemen. The one envelope containing £100. Thank you very much. Right. Work out. They don't believe me, but inside the envelope, ladies and gentlemen, there is indeed 20, 40, 60, 80, £100.
I told the guys there, Teller looked genuinely mystified. Is this an illusion they might be aware of, or is it a totally new thing, or partially new thing?
I came up with it. So whether they've seen somebody else do my trick, or my method, is possible, but, or whether they've worked it out, because, you know, they're clever men.
Have you ever performed in Vegas?
No.
I've got a good feeling about this. I've got a pretty good feeling. Right, because
I love looking at the envelopes. Oh, my word.
yeah, well, that's okay, but they can look at the envelopes, can't they? You're not worried about that?
No, I'm not too worried.
Yeah, yeah.
They can do what the heck they like, can't they?
Let me just start you on a different note there. Have you ever pulled that way, the whole sex line? Do you ever get any
never.
numbers?
Look at me. Look at me. I've never pulled anywhere. I've just pulled.
You see, but this is a good sign. This is a good sign because they're still talking about it and they're still looking at the envelope.
We should have a clock. We should have a little clock. We should time them out.
Okay, guys, I'm going to cut this short because I think we've given them long enough, don't you? Mr. Penn, Mr. Teller, have you got it? You look a little bit confounded.
Ow! It's a funny routine. It's just silly. It's not really supposed to fool us. No, it's not. Goddamn envelopes!
I think we might be onto something else.
He will not go down without a fight. Do you think that he must have been holding the 100, is it pounds you call it here?
Yes,
the 100 pounds all the time among the envelopes. It was a little bit fishy the way he held the envelopes, but not much. Really not much fishy.
Enough to fool you for a while.
I'm kind of...
Never mind, don't give in to each other because I'm not going to let you get away with just saying we
Okay,
think
I'm
it's
gonna
this.
go a little further.
I want specifically you to say the method.
I'll tell you that we think you had a matching orange envelope that could fit in here, that had the 100 pounds in it, that you were manipulating the whole time and was there all the time, waited till they were all done, and then did a slide in like this and opened it up and pulled it back out. That's all we've got, because if you did fool us, you did fool us.
I don't slide anything inside to any of the envelopes.
The most important thing about this is we are supposed to feel amazed, and we're supposed to feel like we didn't know how it was done. And the truth of the matter is, we feel amazed, and we really do not know how it's done.
Well, let me hear you say those words. Let me hear you say he fooled us.
Well, I think in my heart, he fooled us.
Yeah! John, you're going to Vegas. Well done, man. John, congratulations. John Archer from Stockton, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to Vegas, mate. Good luck. John Archer. I think go on, sit back down. Sit back down. I don't know whether you deserve to be up here anymore.
God damn it!
Well, that was great. It's kind of what you came here hoping for.
Yes, but not by him.
Not by envelopes. So there you go. We've already seen one act, full Penn and Teller. Let's go and meet our next potential fooler.
James Moore. I'm James Moore. I'm 22, and I've been a professional magician now for the past 5 years. I first got into it when I was about 8 years old. I did a school talent show, and I won £5. My magic style is a contemporary style. I live in a house in London with 4 housemates. One's a ventriloquist, 2 are actors, and 1 is a singer-songwriter. These guys are really inspiring. Whenever I'm home, we create together, we help each other out. Performing to Penn and Teller is going to be nerve-wracking. These guys are going to be very difficult to impress. They've been doing it longer than I've been alive. Just hopefully they're going to appreciate my performance and hopefully my unique twist and style and magic.
Will you please welcome a star who combines music, dance moves and magic to wow audiences all over the world. Imagine, if you will, Lady Gaga with a disco wand. It's James Moore. seen anything like that. I don't know whether Penn and Teller have. I'm looking for a device like that after Christmas to help me get a little bit smaller. I don't know whether it would work if you put it that way. But I guess you can't put on weight if you
Well,
do
that's
that.
right. As long as you get in there, you're keeping good shape.
So now, how confident do you feel? Obviously, it must be nerve-wracking performing anyway, but performing in front of Penn and Teller makes it doubly so.
It does indeed.
What do you think? Has he fooled you?
I love the fact that you're doing the box trick with yourself. So often, magicians come out and they gesture to someone else to do all the work. As a matter of fact, I like to do that an awful lot. I love to gesture to someone else. I love the fact that you got in and you did it and did a wonderful job. And I also think you've done something that neither one of us could ever do, and that is perform in short sleeves with great triceps. Now I'll do exactly what I said, and I will gesture to someone else and have him do the work. And Teller has drawn a diagram of how we think you did that last trick, and he'll show it to you. And you can take a look at it and tell us if Teller's close enough and whether we have been fooled or not. Your call.
You've not been fooled.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity so much. And we'll keep this secret for you. No one needs to ever know how you did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Moore. Okay, it's time for me to do a bit of magic. I'm going to make the whole show disappear for 2 minutes, but I promise we'll be back. Don't go away. Welcome back to Fool Us. So far, one man has managed to fool Penn and Teller. He was John Archer. Let's see if anyone else can join him on the plane to Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to meet our next contender.
Benjamin Earl.
Fancy a game of blackjack? I'll let you win. My name's Benjamin Earl. I'm 29 years old and I've been a professional magician now for the past 6 years. 90% of what I do involves a huge amount of sleight of hand and psychology. My passion for magic is inextricably linked to my passion for gambling and hustle and scam.
He's been into magic since before I knew him. I've realised that he loves something else as much as he loves me, and even more so sometimes.
I go to Vegas quite regularly, and I've seen Penn and Teller show in Vegas, and it's phenomenal. It's a world-class show, so it'd be incredible to open for them. I'm going to attempt a sleight of hand piece. Hopefully I think I can fool Penn and Teller with this. It really will have to make me work on the night, because it's going to test my skills live.
It's Mr. Benjamin Earl, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything we're about to see today is pretty much informed by this image. This, for me, kind of elegantly sums up the idea of sleight of hand with playing cards and the world of the card shop. So hopefully if I can bring this demonstration full circle, I can actually end by leaving you with this image. So without further ado, Penn and Teller, before today you're asked to bring a deck of cards with you, a genuine, normal deck of cards, no markings, sneakiness or other madness. Would you mind bringing those up for me and joining me up here? Thank you very much. Nice and smooth. So I'm going to try and memorise these as quickly as I can. I can't talk and do this at the same time. So here goes. Okay, here goes. I'll try and do this again one-handed. Yeah. I doubt it myself. Now, it's up to you. Teller, left or right-handed, which would you like? Left-handed. Second choice? I'm not that clever. I can only do this right-handed. Now, I did promise you at the very beginning that I would leave you with an image.
Fellas, do you want to confer there? Why don't we go over here?
Yep, sure.
That was remarkable. Really was. I mean, and especially when you switch one-handed in there. I was watching both their faces. They're studying intently. I mean, that was their pack of cards. You had no contact with them.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's slightly difficult. It was just trying to keep this.
Does that ever go wrong on you? Are there times when you...
Never.
You don't?
No.
Okay, come back over.
Well, what I want to tell you is this is the style that we wanted to fool us. We did not want an ex-police officer with fine arms to be the one that took us down to Chinatown. The style that you have, that very cocky, aggressive, I could do anything style is wonderful. The showing the card at the beginning for at the end is really wonderful. And even saying the memorizing the whole deck and then moving the attention to the 4 aces, which is a wonderful kind of psychological misdirection. You've told us you're memorizing the whole deck. You've told us you're looking at the whole deck. And I don't want to go too jargony on this, but you locate your 4 aces, move them into position. Your false shuffles are wonderful. Everything was smooth and wonderful, perfectly done, and did not fool us.
I want to pull you up on something here. You said a full shuffle, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Was there a full shuffle?
There's no full shuffle.
Okay. There was not a
Never
full...
mind, no. Never mind, no. You can no as much as you like, Penn. There was not a full shuffle.
There was not a full deck false shuffle, but he was retaining
I
the
see.
aces.
So suddenly it's a full deck full shuffle. Can I ask you that, Ben?
Yeah.
Was there a half full shuffle?
No.
No.
You weren't retaining the cards at all?
I was having to locate them, but I'm having to track them through shuffles, but there's no full shuffles.
Okay.
So hold on, I'm just being fed some stuff from our assistant and consultant just to check something. Far away. Okay. I've been told there is no half-deck full shuffle. There is no full shuffle. You're wrong.
Right.
That means we're right because we're a team. Did you know that? We're a team. Benjamin, I think you have to say those words.
Okay. I think you fooled us.
He fooled us. I love this show. Two fools. Congratulations. You're going to Las Vegas. You're performing with Penn. Awesome. Benjamin Earl, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you. That was quite something, wasn't it? Okay, well, we've still got some tricks up our sleeves. Stick around and prepare to be amazed by none other than Mr. Penn and Mr. Teller.
If we go back and forth on the false shuffle thing, Jonathan didn't even know what we're talking about. There were some shuffles there that weren't legitimate shuffles, but that's not where the point is. And we did catch the palm at the end. There was some stuff in the middle that I hadn't seen before. I can't do. I don't know where it is. Were you the whole middle section of the first section? You were fooled, right? I was fooled too. He fooled us.
Thank you. Welcome back to Penn and Teller's Fooler. It's been an incredible evening. We've seen some fabulous acts, and two of them, I didn't think we'd necessarily see one, but two of them, John Archer and Ben Earl, have both fooled Penn and Teller and are on their way to Las Vegas. That's incredible, isn't it? Now, as a special treat to close tonight, you guys have promised to reveal how the most famous trick in magic is done. Is that right?
Yep.
This is one of the most famous, the most celebrated, the most imitated. We've all seen it. Now we're going to find out the nuts and bolts, the inner workings of this trick. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for an absolute treat as I give you, for the last time this evening, the fabulous Penn and Teller.
This is the trick you always want to see in a magic act. This is the standard. This is sawing a woman into halves. And we've brought a showgirl from Las Vegas, Nevada, Georgie Bernasek. We're going to put her in the box here. Watch your step there, Georgie. Now, after putting Georgie in a cheap plywood box and filling her beautiful legs with splinters, we'll then add insult to that injury and put these stalks around her. Watch your shoulder there, Georgie. It looks like your hair's in your eye. You can get that out there. Now, this is the only trick that we do that is right off the rack. You can buy this whole setup just like this from a magic dealer. The one change we made is the saw blade. Well, that comes with it, if you buy it, is cheap aluminum. We put a real heavy steel blade in there. And you also said that Georgie can do a little bit of acting for us. Here we go, right here. And do a little screaming, wiggle your feet and so on. That's beautiful. Let us show that she really is separated. We'll then put these blades in here. And there you have it, Georgie and Bernasek, a woman sawn into halves right there. That's Georgie right there. Now, if we were sitting in those chairs and we were trying to figure out how this was done, if we were trying not to get fooled, the first thing you'd notice is that we would hurry up right away. When you see magicians do this trick, right away, they throw the box back together, pull the blades out, get her stand up, and get her off stage as quickly as they can. And the reason they hurry so is all magicians know that this image right here is the most vulnerable part of the whole trick. And magicians know if they let an audience stare at this moment for too long, everyone can figure out the trick. We're okay with that. And the first thing you notice is it's based on a pretty flimsy psychological principle. You're not supposed to notice a change in height when someone goes from vertical to horizontal. And Georgie's a rather special case, because Georgie's almost 6'3". So bring out on my side of the stage, I'm 6'7". You're not supposed to notice when she lay down, she shrunk right up to 5'10". Once you notice that, you realize the tabletop is not as thin as you first thought. The trim is thin, but the black goes back in a wedge. And then it's underneath the box. It has plenty of depth to conceal that part of Georgie that's no longer accounted for. So the blade doesn't really come that near to Georgie. I mean, you can't even feel the breeze off that, Georgie. No. And it's completely safe, because there's a metal rod in place that stops the saw blade from going down. Pathology there in the spine. That was clearly Keller's fault to a jury of my peers. Good night, everybody!
Well, that's all we've got time for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. See you again. Bye.
Well, the hunt is on for a rogue creature in the new series of Primeval. That continues tomorrow at 7. After the news, who will the love lift produced for Paddy McGuinness's Ladies Take Me Out is at 11:05.